Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is the morning, and we're gonna have a little bit of chat, brief. We're on some coffee. There we go. We got some instant coffee, bought it with 99 cents. It was on a special 50 grams, so calculated that. Of course, that is a great price for me to buy a few. So here we have it. Good morning. It is Friday. Gonna do some cleaning meditation. Already did a lot of meditation, stretching, and encourage all to work out, train, exercise. Working out, training, exercising has been, is, and will be my medicine and therapy of choice. It is November 28th, 2025, in the parallel year or darkness. Just the new year passed of 2029. It's now the year darkness 2030. If you don't know what I'm making reference, you're gonna have to go back in my many hundreds and thousands of videos on YouTube to understand my parallel self in the parallel timeline, where I am a super scientist, also have Asperger's, as I do have this neurological mental divergent condition in this life known as Asperger's, HFA, and we have these special interests, highly focused special interests, and when we're super focused in those special interests, which can vary and can be a few, two or three, myself as always, the Trinity, Holy Trinity, Adrian, Hannah, Dragon's Trinity, always sports and fitness, dancing is my favorite sport, with rock and roll and geopolitics 24/7, being an artist, athlete, and independent geopolitical theoretical analyst, philosopher, thinker, and strategist, developing strategies for the North American Collectif, especially since I had COVID right here in this room office in Temple, and I think this is my last, tomorrow's probably going to be my last 6th day of being sick, and Monday, Tuesday was hardcore, Wednesday a little bit, yesterday I got better, and today I'm getting better. It's just a lot of phlegm, so healing a lot, changed a lot, and of course I have my ritual routine and Aspiesque sometimes, depending on the change. We're sometimes more reticent, but in the past 11 years I definitely changed, and my force changed now. And of course I died during COVID, and I conquered being depressed and suicidal a few years ago in 2017 when I crossed Canada coast to coast. As I encourage all to work out, train, exercise. Working out, training, exercising has been, is, and will be my medicine and therapy of choice. Let's have a sip. Always good to have some coffee. This is a product which I purchased at 99 cents. It's 50 grams. It's instant powdered coffee, 50 grams. And it's actually doesn't say the country of origin. I'm always curious, of course, on the designations on the back as I read, since as long as I can remember, more than 11 years and 8, 9 months now. But I always read the back of the labels of the product that I purchase. And if you see somebody doing this in a store, inspecting the object close to the eye, turning it, inspecting it very close to the eye, to the face like this, for 44 seconds or more, or whatever the case may be, might be somebody like me who's neurodivergent, who has Asperger's, and of course we're looking for details and information on those packages and on those labels and on those boxes or whatever it is. This is of course a small package coffee from Ukraine. It doesn't say the country of origin, but it's from Ukraine. The company's for Ukraine, and it was 99 cents for 50 grams. So I calculated that in order for me to get the equivalent, which is usually I buy powdered coffee, was 150 grams. So meaning that I have to buy 3 like this to get the same amount of coffee, right? Because 50 times 3 is 150 grams. So the one that I usually buy in the store is 150 grams. Although that one went up in price, it was $5.99, and it was made in Germany, and it was $5.99, and now it went to $6.45. And one of it, of course, was before was $4.99, and now it's $6.99. Also 150 grams. So basically, I paid half price because I bought 3 like this. So that's 99 cents. It was on special. So 99 cents times 3, that's $3.297 to be specific and exact. But of course, it is quite something which we have to fully understand when we do the mathematics and the calculation, the ratios of the quantities and the qualities. And the quality, of course, cannot be assessed. It has to be an individual assessment of the quality, but the quantity, and this is something that is constant with me for years and years and years, as long as I can remember. Again, I always calculate the price ratio. But I am financially stressed, struggling right now. My only stress is actually financial, as I'm not getting healed tomorrow. Gonna go with a few money that I have to try to make a deal, because my phone isn't working. As you know, that I'm doing an update since October 30th, the screen doesn't work, so I get calls, but the screen is black, so I can't film, I can't put online, I can't do online work with it, and this was my work tool, but I'm auctioning it for $1 million. My old work tool, had some photos in it, have some videos, still have some photos, and auctioning it for $1 million, starting at $1 million. My old phone here, probably before Christmas. Hopefully somebody will make a deal and come by it right in Montreal on the mountain, Mount Royal, where I'm going to be heading today after cleaning this room house and temple for a few hours, because Friday before midnight, you know, the Sabbath of the dancing goddess in the Dragon Kingdom, always for the 10, the 50, and the 3, the 63, let our empire rise and let him be. Our empire rise and let it be. As you don't know, you gotta check my videos of my theories as a philosopher, as what I have been advocating for years and years and years now, especially during COVID, the implementation of my Trinity of theories, the CIT citizen integration theory, the DRT debt fusion theory, and the DFT across the North American collective plateau as a massive public-private partnership, calling on all institutions and organizations, of course, as a mass PPP to be implemented and instaurated, as of course part of the initiatives are to mass finance initiatives such as fitness, incentivize fitness via massive public-private partnership. Right here in this room house in Temple, I lost myself about between 80 pounds and 93 pounds. And I work out every day, you know, even I laugh sometimes. I say it was cold and raining and I still went for my long hours of marches. Last week I did a big one, usually average. The minimum that I have to average between October 22nd and March 19th is 20 hours. Between March 19th and October 22nd, I have to average 25 hours minimum. So, but last week I did 28 hours, almost 29, 28 hours and 50 minutes in 5 days of marching, working out, and at the same time stretching while I march. And yesterday I did a little bit less because I had a big backpack and I had to come for some math here. Always eager to do some mathematics, and it was 3 hours and 44 minutes Wednesday, and yesterday was about 3 hours and a half. But before that it was 5 hours and 4 hours. So today I have to do a minimum of basically 4 hours to get the minimum required. But I'm probably gonna do between 4 or 6, not more. I don't want to do too much because I still want to rest. Tomorrow I gotta go get my phone. Gonna try to get a Black Friday deal here in Canada, and the phone that I want to get is one of the special ends Sunday, the 30th of November. And the other one ends December 1st, and the other one Black Fridays end December 3rd. So I got a few deadlines, and you know, I'm still gonna propose for the third time, especially because I am part of the LGBTQ community engagement. You know, I am androgynous, pansexual androgynous, and 50-50 with yours truly, Adrian, Dragon, and pro-labor and love, universal revolutionary centrism are centrist. My universal revolutionary centrist is North American centric, however, North American collective, and it's tough times for many things have deteriorated in Canada as well. And it makes me think of an RCMP report here, the equivalent of a Canadian FBI, sort of the federal police in 2024, March 20th. It was a report which had made the assessment of the future of Canada in terms of socioeconomics, and it issued some dire warnings about the future. And the words used by the interpretation of the media, now these words, because a lot of it was redacted, so part of it we don't know because of the redactions, it was redacted and hidden, but part of it had to do with the geopolitical events. And as you know, that if you go back to 2019, and I have proof for what I'm going to say, I myself, I do it on the daily geopolitical analysis, sometimes for hours and hours and hours I spend, and I analyze the world geopolitically, and I predicted what's happening now in 2019. So I predicted the current events, internal domestic North American collective. When I refer to the North American collective, I'm usually referring to Canada, United States, and furthermore expanding it to Mexico, because Mexico is part of North America, and of course the islands. Of course, Cuba is a special peculiar paradox because of their socialist communist maintenance of their one-party state socialist communist system, but Cuba is nonetheless part of North America. Haiti as well. Haiti, Dominican Republic, Jamaica, and the islands, of course, are what I incorporate in the North American collective. But of course, from our fusion that is going to come in our empire, the 63, the 10, the 50, and the 3, that makes 63 states of the Imperial American Union, which are going to constitute together in the coming days, weeks, and months ahead as a massive public-private partnership based on my theories and initiatives. And you can check my hours and hours of videos of marching in the past 7+ years and get acquainted, familiarize, and read the transcripts and meditate on my theories and initiatives and the solutions as a massive public-private partnership. Fundamentally, it's a mass public-private partnership across the North American collective for total integration over the SSD plateau, security, service, and defense, and of course rejuvenation, revitalization, and of course to the further extent possible rehabilitation of our criminal population, because It is in our North American collective geopolitical interest for our brothers and sisters who've lost their liberty. We got freedom tatted up here, but freedom has to be ensured to be rehabilitated as a mass public-private partnership and to start building those 44 mass city tunnels in case of a thermonuclear war, which can escalate any minute now. And with the new tensions in Asia, Japan and China and Japan, it is quite worrisome that further deterioration of relations have been further exacerbated, and with the Ukraine-Russia conflict going into the February 24th in the coming months, in 4 months, is going to be 4 years since that conflict. The Middle East seems to have not reached a conclusion. It seems that there has been further escalation between Israel and Lebanon, and the ceasefire. It's a question mark on the ceasefire between Israel and Hamas and the Gaza Strip, and it seems to be unfolding as I have predicted back in 2019, based on the facts that I basically predicted what's happening now in a general overall manner, not in a necessarily detail by detail manner, but I predicted as a sort of a World War III scenario. I have the proof because I have the videos online. So here I am encouraging you all to work out, train, exercise, and sending some LOV, pledge your legions, thou are my allies and armies, thou our family. That's how I rock and roll 24/7. And gotta get going with some cleaning here, some cleaning and some doing, and I have some late lunch, and gonna head to the mountain, and I'm gonna be back before midnight, and the Sabbath begins at midnight. And over the weekend, I'm gonna go try to shop get a deal to pay monthly deal on the Black Friday deals for a new phone, because I am financially stressed and struggling, so I haven't had a phone in a month now. It's gonna be close a month soon, so I want to lay out with some rock and roll. Ready? Get ready for some rock. Some roll, freestyle always, from the Rainbow Dragon. Yeah. Gotta sing that rock and roll for the truckers on the road, for the butchers and the bakers and the nurses and the doctors, plumbers and construction workers, going up those cranes and on the skyscraper, dabbing with no pain. Gotta sing, ain't no holidays, tough times, I've been. Got some scars, wanna see ya. What I know, that's me. Me and you, that's 63. For the Empire, rise and be. We from the French state de Montreal with that Quebec. Like Celine Dion, we said. For I've been upset. On the clouds, up in the rainy rocket flying in the sky yet. And I gotta say, I gotta rock and roll it every day. On the road, up in the march. That's the freestyle, that's the spark of the dragon flame. That was freestyle rock and roll. I write rock and roll songs every day. Rock and roll, geopolitics, sports, and fitness. 24/7, the Trinity: sports, fitness, rock and roll, geopolitics, sports, fitness, rock and roll. Support the creation of the Universal Exchange Unit via the DRT. Pledge allegiance, love you.